The FHSA is the government's newest opportunity for first-time homebuyers. It's literally free money. Done right, it could save you tens of thousands of dollars. The account was created as a response to inflation and the housing crisis and unaffordable housing for first-time buyers. Although it doesn't solve the issue, it definitely gives you an advantage that you didn't have before. So use it. Plus, if you don't use it when you're buying your first house, you'll just lose access to using it later on. So why pass it up? See, most people have no clue how this account works or how much money you can actually make from this account. So let's fix that. So what is the FHSA? Well, the FHSA is an acronym that stands for First Home Savings Account. It's like if the TFSA and the RRSP had a baby. Contributions are tax deductible, just like in the RRSP, which I'll explain a little bit later. Withdrawals for your first home are completely tax-free. So withdrawals being tax-free is similar to the TFSA. And unlike the RRSP homebuyers plan, you don't have to repay it. And that's the key difference between the homebuyers plan and the FHSA. Next up are the contribution rules. Your contribution limit is $8,000 per year with a lifetime maximum of $40,000. Now, these might change later down the line, but for now, those are the rules. Contributions just stand for the amount of money that you throw into the account. So if your account has earned value through investment or interest income, that does not affect your contribution limit. And here's the most important part. You can contribute for last year's limit as well, as long as the account was open during the year, but only last year's limit. And that rule applies to any year. For example, if you opened your FHSA on December 31st, 2025, and you did not contribute, literally the next day, January 1st, 2026, you would already have $16,000 of contribution room for that year. $8,000 for 2025 and $8,000 for 2026. The earlier you open this account, the better. Plus, it's completely free. So if you're eligible, the longer you wait, the more money you're missing out on. Now is a good time to cover the eligibility. So who qualifies? Well, you have to be between 18 and 71 years old. You also have to be a resident of Canada. And to be considered a first-time homebuyer, there's two conditions that you have to meet. One, you did not live in a qualifying home as your principal place of residence that you owned or jointly owned in this calendar year or the previous 4 calendar years. So that means you have not owned a house that you lived in the last 4 years prior to this year. And the next condition is about your spouse or common law partner, which the same rule applies to them. So if you don't have a spouse or common law partner, then you're fine. You can open the account. So if you've ticked all the boxes, then you're eligible. The account lasts up to 15 years or until the end of the year that you turn 71. If you didn't purchase a house by then, you can simply transfer it into your RRSP tax-free. Before we move on, I'd just like to mention that over 99% of you are still not subscribed. If you like this type of content and wish to see more down the line, then be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It's truly the best way to help me out, and you'll be notified of my future uploads. Let's jump back in. Next up is withdrawals. So withdrawals are completely tax-free if 1, you're buying a qualifying first home in Canada, 2, it's your principal residence, and 3, you move in within 1 year of purchasing. Anything else and it's taxed like income. Here's a pro tip. You can stack this with the RRSP homebuyers plan. That's $40K from the FHSA plus up to $60K from the homebuyers plan. That's a $100K down payment strategy. That's $100K before factoring in any investment growth. Now, $100K is a lot of money. You don't have to max it out. Just know that it is there in case you max out the FHSA and you want to use another resource. The key difference between the two is in the homebuyers plan, withdrawals must be repaid, whereas in the FHSA, they do not. Here is where it gets fun. This is where we get the free money. Earlier, you heard me say contributions are tax deductible, just like in the RRSP, which I'll explain a little bit later. How does that actually work? Let's say you make $80,000 a year. You put $8,000 into your FHSA, your taxable income drops to $72,000. That means you're only going to pay taxes on that year based on $72,000 of income. So if you're a salaried employee, you've already been taxed on your salary, which is taken out every single paycheck. When you file your taxes the following year, the CRA will refund you the income tax portion on your contributions. So for this example, $8,000. For someone making $80,000, that refund is $2,522. You are literally being paid to save for your down payment. Another pro tip is you take that $2,500 refund and throw it back into your FHSA. Now you only need to save $5,500 to max out for the year. That's just over $211 bi-weekly. I've seen people without houses that have a bigger car payment than this. So now let's put all this together into an example. Meet Greg. Greg earns $75,000 a year. He opened his FHSA on November 1st, 2023, but did not contribute during that year. Now in January 2024, he can now contribute $16,000. So $8,000 for 2023 and $8,000 for 2024. He does it in increments throughout the year to make it more affordable. Greg files his taxes, gets just under a $4,900 return. He puts it right back into his FHSA. He then invests his contributions into an index fund, which earned just over 20% in 2024. He repeats this every single year with discipline. Greg builds more than enough for his down payment. The FHSA is free money for first-time buyers. If you're serious about buying your first home, use it. If you enjoyed this video, then please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It's truly the best way to help me out. I would really appreciate it, and you'll be notified of my future uploads. So it's a win-win for both of us. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.